Good evening. Good evening. I pray that all is well with you guys. So, I am Serafina Monique, and I just have a quick word for you guys on today, okay? So, I ask that if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on anything. And if this word blesses or encourages you in any type of way, for you to, just feel free to share it with someone else so that they can be blessed and encouraged as well. Okay. So, let's just jump right into it. So today I want to talk from John 5, 1 through 9. Okay. So it says, and there, it don't say that. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the trouble of the water, stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there which had an infirmary for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had seen how long, let me read that again. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, and said unto him, Will thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool while I'm coming. Put me into the pool, but while I'm coming, another steppeth down before me. And Jesus said unto him, Rise up, take up thy bed and walk. Okay. And it says, and immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Okay. So, we've all heard this story probably a million times, honey. Okay. But, just for a moment, I just want to, give you guys, uh, maybe like 3 points from this that I got out of reading this. Okay. So, point one, and it's going to come from verse 6. So let's read verse 6. Okay, let me pull up verse 6. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Will thou be made whole? Okay. So, first point is God sees you and he knows. So he sees you and he knows. So we notice that, when he came up, when Jesus came up to the man, he didn't ask him for his history. He didn't ask the man, how long have you been here? He didn't ask the man, what was your experience sitting here at this pool, for however long of a time you had been there. Or he didn't ask the man like his mental state of mind or anything. He just asked the man, do you want to be made whole? And then it tells us that he saw he had been there for a long time. So it's like God sees you, honey. God sees you and he knows. He sees you and he knows. So many times in life we deal with things, we go through things, and sometimes we go through things like back to back to back. And it's like you get out of one storm, you can't get out of one storm before getting into the next storm. And so we sit and we pray to God, and when we don't get any relief, it's like, do God see me? Do God hear me? Does he hear my prayers? Okay. Does he care? Okay. So God sees you and he cares. He sees you and he cares. And I like the way he came and asked the man, do you want to be made healed? That is not what he said. Do you want to be made whole? Okay. Do you want to be made whole? So he just didn't go up and say, I see you sitting there, you healed. I see you sitting there, you healed. Well, not in this case, he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say, I see you sitting there, you've been there a while, you healed, go ahead and go about your business. He said, do you want to be made whole? Okay. So, um, in a lot of our instances, God is asking us, do you want to be made whole? Okay. Because a lot of us, we complain about what we're going through. We complain about life and what we're dealing with in life, but we're not showing that we want to be made whole. A lot of our actions are showing that we're okay with the broken. A lot of our actions are showing that we're okay with getting the attention from being broken, and we don't want to be healed because broken get us so much attention, honey. What was it? Munchausen syndrome, honey. Munchausen syndrome. Okay. So it's like, and I hope that was right. Anyway, but it's like sometimes your brokenness gets you attention and get people attention to where it's like they don't want to be made whole. Give me a second. Okay. Anyway, to where people they don't want to be made whole because their brokenness get them so much attention. I'm trying to look up Munchausen syndrome. I don't even know how to spell it, honey. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna look at it, look it up later. Okay, so it's like a lot of people brokenness gets them a lot of attention and they don't want to be made whole, or they've gotten so used to being broken, they've gotten so used to operating in their brokenness to where they're okay with that. And some people are saying, this is as good as it gets, okay? This is as good as it gets. But um and God don't want you to just sit in your brokenness, okay? He wants you to heal from some things, okay? Heal from some things so that you can have a better quality of life. So, do you want to be made whole? Like, that's the question. Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to put in the work that it's going to take for you to get to your place of healing? Okay? Do you want to have to bring out all those emotions and deal with the pain in the past from your past to get to your place of healing? Okay, so healing hurts. So you have to want to be made whole. So again, do you want to come out of this brokenness? Do you want to be made whole? And so sometimes a lot of us, we are delaying our own healing. We're delaying our own healing. We're delaying God from getting us to that place of us being whole because we say with our mouth, we say with our tongue that we want to be made whole, that we want to be healed, but our action shows that we're okay with broken and that we're okay with the way things are. We're okay with operating in our brokenness, okay? So, and although you're not healed, let me point this out real quick. I like verse 7. It says, let me read the whole verse, honey. I didn't write it down. The impotent man, this is after God asked, will thou be made whole? And it said, the impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool, but while I'm coming, another step it down before me. So, y'all, he got this infirmary. He had this infirmary for 38 years, but he's not letting the people around him, like, although there are people around him who are getting there before him, he's not letting that stop him from trying to get to that water. He's not letting that stop him from trying to get to his healing. Okay. And so many of us, we'll just give up and we'll just sit in it and we'll just be okay with the way things are because we feel like it'll take a lot for me to get to my place of healing to where we don't even try. Okay, so, and I like so much to where he said, but while I'm coming, another one step is down. So he wants to be made whole. He wants to be healed because he is actively trying to get to the place to where he can be healed. Okay. He's actively trying to get there. Okay. And I don't know. That really made me smile. I just really like that because it's like, but while I'm coming. So although I got this like infirmity, I'm still I'm gonna walk with it. Jesus. Although I'm broken, honey, I'm gonna walk with it. I'm gonna walk with this brokenness till I get to my place of healing. I'm not gonna let this brokenness stop me from trying to get to my place of healing. I'm not gonna let the people around me, my God, I'm not gonna let the people around me stop me from trying to get to this place of healing, because it said around the pool there were a great multitude of impotent folks. Everybody was sick, honey. Everybody was sick, but everybody was in the vicinity to where they could get healing. So although you are broken, although this is wrong, although that is wrong, although this isn't right, although that's not right, you better get into the vicinity, honey, to where you know you can be healed. Okay? And so again, God uses broken things, God uses broken people, honey. God uses broken things, God uses broken people. So don't just sit. Don't just sit. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead, sweetheart. So we don't just sit and God work this miracle, God do this, God do that. But then we just sit in here. We're not trying to heal from anything. We're not trying to be made whole. We praying that God heals us from this alcoholism, but every time we get a chance, we go buy a bottle, and we still asking God to deliver me from this, deliver me from that. And I'm sure God can take the taste out of your mouth, but in this case, it was like, while I'm coming, it's like, Lord, heal me from this alcoholism. Lord, heal me from this drug addiction. Lord, heal me from this brokenness. Lord, heal me from this sex addiction, whatever it is. But until I get to that place of healing, I'm going to be coming towards you. I'm going to be working towards my healing. Until you meet me, I'm going to be working towards my healing. And so God will meet you in your brokenness. Okay, he will meet you in your brokenness. So I don't know. I really like that, honey. But while I'm coming, another man steps down before me. Okay, so let's go to the next point. Verse 7. Verse 7 again. Let's see. And it's like so much stuff that can be talked about in this particular story, you guys. I don't know why my phone isn't working with my face. I think Braylon changed it. Put his face in. Let's see. Okay. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool, but while I'm coming, another one steps down. So in that verse, I want to look at, I have no man to put me into the pool. I have no man to put me into the pool. Okay, so point 2, you don't need no man to put you into the pool, honey. You don't need no man. That's just it. You don't need no man. So a lot of us, we're wanting to do things. God is calling us to do something. God is calling us out of whatever bondage, whatever has us bound. God is calling us out of bondage. But we waiting on the next person to go with us. We waiting on somebody to carry us. Okay? But you don't need no man, honey. You don't need no man. Because let me tell you, it says when I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second. It says Jesus said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk. So Jesus didn't go look. You don't need no man. Jesus didn't go look for nobody to go and take him to that water. Jesus didn't sit there and wait for the water to be troubled. He did not sit there. He did not say, I'm going to sit here with you. And when the water is troubled, I'm going to carry you to the water so that you can get your healing. No, he healed him where he was. Jesus. He healed him where he was. So guess what? You don't need no man to carry you. You don't need no man. Okay, although getting to the water, getting your healing, what was that thing? Was what everybody was trying to do. You don't need the water either. You don't need the troubling of the water either, honey. You don't need no man. You don't need no troubled water, honey. All you need is Jesus, sweetheart. All you need is Jesus. Jesus will meet you where you are. He will meet you where you are. But don't just sit there. You actively work towards your healing. Whatever it is you want to heal from, whatever it is you no longer want to be bound to. What does it say? Keep coming. Keep coming, sweetheart. Keep coming. You keep getting up. You keep listening to encouraging messages. You keep doing whatever. You keep getting into the presence of God. You keep praying. You keep worshiping. You keep getting into your word. You keep getting into church. Keep getting around people that's going to push you to want to be made whole. Okay? So don't just sit there. Don't just sit there. Actively move. Until you are at your place of healing, you move towards your place of healing. And God will meet you there, sweetheart. God will meet you there. And he won't, you don't need no man to take you to no water while it's trouble. So Jesus, he didn't say, let me take you to this water. He didn't pull nobody and say, take him to this water while it's trouble. No. Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be made whole? Let's get it. Let's go. And that's just it. Okay. But again, keep coming. Even in your brokenness, honey, keep coming. Even when you don't see change happening, keep coming because something is going on. Something is going on. You keep coming. You stay faithful and you keep coming. Okay. So you don't need no man. Because half of the time, y'all know how hard it is. Y'all know how hard it is to plan something with a group of people. Okay, it's hard to plan something with a group of people. Because it's like, oh, we want to do it for this day. But this person ain't off on this day. And this person got to be here on this day. And this person's child got this going on this day. And it's hard to plan things with a group of people. Okay, so you don't need no man. You don't need anybody. You don't need anybody to take you to those waters to get you to that place of healing. Okay, not saying that God won't put people around you to help you to your place of healing, but in this instance, he didn't need no man. Okay, so God saw him. He saw him coming. He saw him trying to get to that place of healing. He saw him actively working to get to that place of healing. And then he asked him, do you want to be made healed? Do you want to be made whole? And he healed him where he was at. You don't need no water. You don't need no man to get to your place of healing. Keep praying, keep seeking God, whatever it is that you're trying to improve on, whatever it is that you're trying to heal from. Do whatever you need to do to get to that place of healing. There are so many resources, free resources. There are so many resources that you can use to help you to get to your place of healing. Okay, don't wait on mama. Don't wait on daddy. Don't wait on your sisters or your brothers, honey. Go if you have to go by yourself. My God, my God. And that's just it. Get to your place of healing. You don't need no man. Okay, all you need is Jesus. All right, and the third and final point is your mat is your testimony. Okay, your mat is your testimony. Okay, so let me find what verse it is. Okay, verse 9. Let me go to verse 8 and then we'll read 9. Okay, so it says, 8 says, Jesus said unto him, rise up, take up thy bed and walk. Okay, so verse 9 says, and immediately. God don't have to wait on the waters of trouble. He don't have to wait on the waters of trouble. Immediately. He didn't say, let's sit here and wait till this angel come and make these bubbles come again and make this water bubbly. He was, no, I'm gonna hear you where you at. You ain't gonna need no man. You ain't gonna need the water. You ain't gonna have to wait on the angel to come and trouble the waters. Because immediately I'm gonna meet you where you are in your coming. And I'm going to heal you. Okay, let me get back on point. So it says, Jesus said unto him, rise up, take up thy bed and walk. 9 says, and immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. Okay, and it says, and on the same day was the Sabbath. Okay, so the point 3 is your mat is your testimony. Your mat is your testimony. Okay, so when I read this, you guys, because like I like visualize things like while I'm reading. It's like a whole movie going on in my head. Okay. So when it said Jesus told him to pick up his mat and walk, and they said he picked up his mat and he walked. So in my mind, for some reason, I don't know why, the mat was blue. I pictured this blue mat. I pictured this man lying on this blue mat. Okay. So when Jesus said, pick up your mat and walk, I just envisioned this man. I just visualized him picking up his mat, holding that mat, and walking. Like this. Mat in hand, walking with my mat. Here go my mat. Here go my mat. Here go some blue. That's some blue. It wasn't that color blue. It's more like a royal blue or something. But here goes some blue. So I just visualize this man walking around with his mat like this. So he wasn't toting it under his arm or nothing. He ain't got it rolled up. In my mind, he walking around with it like this, honey. For others to see. This is my testimony, sweetheart. My mat is my testimony, sweetheart. For 38 years, I had an infirmary, okay? Infirmity for 38 years. I'm looking for my notes, trying to look down, look at my notes, and it's in my hand, Jesus. He had an infirmity for 38 years, but it's like, my mat, this is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is what God brought me through after all this time. This is what God has done for me. So here go my mat for all to see. Okay. So we want to get to a place of healing so that we can show off our mat, honey. We ain't gonna walk around with it tucked under. We ain't gonna leave it there. We're not gonna leave it. We're not gonna walk away from it. We're not gonna walk away from it because after 38 years, honey, that's a long time. So a lot of stuff that you guys have been dealing with, you've been dealing with it for a long time. Okay. So a lot of people want to forget what it is that they're dealing with. A lot of people want to forget what it is that they've gone through. A lot of people want to forget that hurt and that pain that they've gone through. But it's like, no, we're not going to forget it. We're going to remember it. We're just going to change the perspective, sweetheart. We just going to change our perspective. So instead of me looking at it, instead of me lying on this mat, Jesus, instead of me, okay, let me say this, get to your place of healing so that you can share your testimony from a place of victory instead of from a place of defeat. Okay. So notice that, he was lying on his mat. So it's like you're lying on your mat. So it's like, what am I trying to say, Lord? Give him to him the right way, Jesus. So it's like I'm lying on this mat, and it's like a lot of people in their brokenness, they share things from a perspective to where they're the victim, to where it's like, woe is me. They still laying on their mat. Woe is me. Woe is me. And instead of them being able to show off their mat from a place of victory and encourage others, okay, and encourage others that dealing with the same thing, you still laying on your mat. And you're still sharing your story from a place of defeat. Okay? So it's like the difference is if I'm sharing my story and I haven't healed from some things and I'm sharing my story, it's like if I'm sharing it from a place of defeat, it's like when I share it with somebody else that's going through the same thing I'm going through, I'm not sharing it to encourage them to better themselves or to get to their healing or whatever. I'm sharing it out of defeat. So I'm sharing it so that you can come down here with me, so that we can be down here together, so that we can be pitiful together. And it's like, no, keep coming. But while I'm coming, okay, keep coming. Keep coming so that you can get to your place of healing, so that you can share that story from a place of victory. Here is my mat, sweetheart. Here is what I've gone through. Here is what the Lord and delivered me from. Here's how many years I sat in this, actively working, trying to get out of it, trying to get deliverance from it. Okay, here is how long I laid on this mat. But what it says, I kept coming. I kept coming. I kept coming. I kept working. I kept worshiping. I kept seeking. I kept getting to the presence of God. I kept actively walking towards my healing. And while I was walking towards my healing, Jesus met me, honey. Jesus met me. Because I thought my healing was in the water. Jesus. I thought my healing was only going to be done. Jesus Christ. I thought my healing was only going to be done at a certain time, on a certain day when I was in a certain position. Jesus Christ. I thought my healing was going to be done at a certain time, on a certain day, when I was at a certain location. So for me, this was the goal. This is what I had to get to my healing. This was the trouble. This was the water troubling. So this was my place of healing. Okay. But while I was coming, Jesus met me. And immediately he healed me here. So my healing wasn't here. My healing wasn't in the troubling of the waters. My healing wasn't in being first. My healing was in me actively working, me actively coming. My healing was in Jesus meeting me there. My healing was in me wanting to be healed. Okay? Your healing is in you wanting to be healed. So your mat is your testimony. So I just encourage you guys today, no matter what it is that you are going through, no matter what it is that you are dealing with, no matter where you are, what level you are in your healing process, honey, keep going, honey. Keep going. Keep consciously making the decision to get to your place of healing. Keep seeking God. Again, utilize those resources that are out there. Utilize your resources. Okay? And get to your place of healing and keep actively coming. So you may think this is your place of healing. You may be looking, oh, when I get this, Jesus, when I get this, then I'll be good. When I get this, then I'll be healed. When I get to this point, then I'll be healed. When I get to that bubbling of the water, when I'm first, after that bubbling of the water, then I'll be healed. And God is like, I'm going to meet you before you get to that bubbling of the water, because I'm going to let you see that you don't need no man. You don't have to be first. You don't need the bubbling of the water. Just actively seek your healing, and I will meet you in it, honey. I will meet you where you are, and I will heal you right where you are. Okay? So that is it for today. Let me see. Let me browse. Let me glance, honey. Okay, so it's time to, it's no matter where you are in your healing. Okay, so it's time to get up. It's time to move. It's time to be healed. So get up, move, keep coming, be healing. Keep seeking, keep worshiping, keep praying, keep encouraging yourself in the Lord, and keep coming, keep seeking your healing, and God will meet you in your healing. Okay, so that is it for today, you guys. Again, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the notification bell so that you guys don't miss out on anything. Okay, so that's it. I am Seraphina Monique. Be blessed and be a blessing. Enjoy the rest of your day.